because he can remove open wounds. He also keeps your whoever lifestealer is going on. He's a single target focus hero, so you keep him going all the time with the heals and the aphotic shield. And Alliance are going to grab Pugna for themselves, and I feel like this is not something they necessarily wanted to do for their own lineup, but they feel like they cannot give it away. And we're going to see what position they're going to run it in. For now, it's not really that good against Navi's heroes either. I feel like Alliance made the right decision here. It was a good call.
I'm expecting a Juggernaut to come for Navi. Well, actually, with Bristleback, so Viper's probably going to be mid, and it's still going to be Khavos playing it, I would assume. Of course, he could be in the farming lane. You can pretty much put him anywhere. Enigma? Wow, okay, so definitely going pushed. Have a little bit of team fight. I say a little bit because it's only Black Hole, and pretty much no other spells are really team fight potential here. Alliance does get the VS, so that is a great counter to the Enigma. Like, Enigma kind of has to, well, it doesn't have to. Like, the Lincolns is pretty much the only way to stop the swap at this point.
And the cool thing is, when you're playing against the Vengeful Spirit as Enigma, what you often try to do is have someone else on your team take the VS out, but there's no one on Navi who even has a disable, apart from Enigma, so who's going to prevent the swap? Sniper is going to...
Oh my god.
Oh, this is going to be good. Wow. This is going to be good. Game 3 with a Sniper. We got everything we came for, Shannon. This is good. So...
Sniper right-clicking people, Cinder. I don't know about you. Very excited to see that.
Amazing. This is such a fun hero because he attacks.
Keep in mind, like we were talking about the pushing potential. Obviously, Alliance has a lot of those heroes that we were talking about, but Navi, Sniper is a decent pusher in his own right, thanks to the shrapnel. And Viper with, is it Nether Toxin? Is that what it's called? Yeah. It also, I mean, once the tower is damaged, of course, it can deal massive damage to the towers as well. So nothing to scoff at by any means. So both teams really have a lot of push potential, with some team fight oriented things mixed in as well.
I think, considering the way the draft looked in the start, I feel like Alliance did a really good adaptation in this game. How they solved the problems they had and the consistency of the lineup they actually end up getting, it's really good. I was worried for them that they were going to be run over, but this looks like it could be a really exciting game because of the way they handled it. So they end up getting S4.
Prepare for battle.
What's that?
I'm sorry, Alliance has the Navi Courier. It's just freaking hilarious. It actually has an effect on it too. It looks, or is that the fountain? No, that's not the fountain.
That's yeah, that is an effect. It's unusual Navi Weasel Crow owned by EGM. Oh, that's cool. A little bit of yeah. These two teams obviously know each other very well, so this doesn't really surprise me to see this. Anyway, to finish off on what I was talking about, S4 will be playing the Shadow Shaman, so he will probably be going mid with that. We've got EGM playing as the Vengeful Spirit. Loda will be playing on the Lifestealer. We've got Admiral Bulldog actually on the Pugna, which I think is the first time I see that. And Ake will be playing on the Visage.
I'm excited to see Rasta mid, or Shadow Shaman I should say. I might call him Rasta, I apologize. One of those heroes that used to be popular back in the day mid, but has no escape mechanism. That's really the bane of his existence in mid, because it's in a lot of ways like it's like I can't speak. In a lot of ways like Shadow Fiend, because he pushes the lanes very well. Obviously a better tower pusher on top of that, but really has absolutely no getaway whatsoever, and is quite squishy to speak of. Khavost, as we talked about, playing the Viper. Kuroki on the Abaddon. Dandy playing solo mid. Sniper, which I think we saw Admiral Bulldog. No, who played? No, it was Loda. Oh, yeah, Loda played the Sniper mid when we saw them play. Puppy, of course, using his demonic conversion as playing the Enigma, and Funnick lane solo. I feel like this is like the same thing every time. Funnick plays so much Bristleback, and he has been amazing on that hero.
He is probably the best Bristleback player that comes to mind for me, at least, because the thing really masters is he's really good at knowing the limits, and this hero is really tricky in a lot of situations where you feel like you're more tanky than you really are, and then you overextend, or sometimes you underestimate how much you can actually do and end up not doing enough. But Funnick just tends to find the balance on this, where he really gets the job done in the fight and often escapes on like no health at all. And I mean, the first time that happens you can say he got lucky, but when you see it consistently happening like twice every game he plays Bristle in, then you're starting to see a pattern on him just really knowing his hero completely. Now, I'm really curious about how this mid lane is going to play out, to be honest, because, like you said, Shadow Shaman is very susceptible to ganks, but at the same time, Sniper doesn't really provide much in ganks, so maybe S4 is going to be alright. And then, when you look at flip it around a bit, you look at Dendi, who's a Sniper who's really susceptible to ganks, and does not really have anything to do when the Shadow Shaman shackles him, so about how this tri lane plays out, who can afford to rotate, as actually EGM is going to be almost taken down here. He almost got blocked by the creep wave from Navi here, but we'll get away with it. As
Neutral Spirit has a slender figure. She can get through pretty much any space she wants to, bro.
Aki's just annoying puppy. He knows.
Yeah. Well, in the jungle, yeah.
Because Abaddon does not have a slow, or unless if he skills the Curse of Avernus, Aki knows he can get away with this. Or can he? Kuroki trying the body block.
Getting some slow.
Dangerously close.
Wow, Viper actually getting the last hit there, so a little bit too cocky.
Surprising.
Yeah, I mean, Alliance pulling a Navi, and for all intents and purposes.
Feel
Going
like
too deep.
Yeah, exactly. Or actually not. Aki's decision of harassing Puppy here is really good. I think he just took the wrong path back. He could have gone through the river. He did his job at annoying Puppy. He farmed 1 or 2 of his Eidolons. He stole a bit of his experience. And then he just ran through the lane. And actually now Havost is going to get gone on here by Loda. EGM does have a stun, and they're just using the entire duration here. Oh no!
Oh, they tried to get the last hit for Loda. Is that going to cost them? No, he does go down in the end. Playing a little bit too conservative there, as Kuroki's going to take some damage on the back end as well. I was looking at bottom, almost a kill for Funnick. But of course, Decrepify being used to slow him, being able to go under the tower and all that good stuff.
Oh my goodness, that was so close to being, you know, the classic one where afterwards, in hindsight, you're like, why didn't we just kill the guy? That almost went wrong for Alliance because EGM wanted to give the kill to the carry, which is all great sometimes, but at the same time, if you're playing against a lane that has a Baton who can come out of nowhere and get the heal off, you really don't want to risk that the target survives, and that was on the edge that EGM managed to get that kill, as now he's going to rotate in for Dendi. Dendi does have a ward, however. He's kind of he didn't notice.
Oh boy, Dendi, he's going to try to get a consolation kill, but not able to do so. S4 essentially wins this lane as a result of that gank, so Dendi's going to need some help, because you're talking about Sniper, not the greatest at catching up in mid lane especially, has no escape mechanism, kind of like Rasta in a lot of ways, and needs help to get some kills, as Lotus can take some damage, Abaddon using Photic Shield.
Love to see Kuroki skilling Curse of Avernus on level 3 in this lane. I think it's going to be so helpful for them, because this is a lane that's very much about the slows. You have a Lifestealer on one side and together with a Visage, and then on the other side, if Kuro has the Curse of Avernus, they can just chase them down. And how does Alliance actually win this lane if Navi come in the correct way? They can break either the stun from Venge, or the slow from Visage, or the slow from Lifestealer, which is probably the best one to break with the Aphotic Shield, and then just turn around and chase them down. And if he has Curse of Avernus, Loda's not getting out.
Good point. I mean, Curse of Avernus is very underrated overall as a skill, and I think, especially against melee, and Lifestealer in particular, would be very, very helpful. Top lane, Invis is actually taken by EGM, so he's going to be setting up a gank here, perhaps on Dendi again. That would be completely crippling for Dendi if he ends up going down. Of course, S4 very close to level 6, so if they do get a kill, can perhaps attempt to push on top of that. But one of the great things about Sniper, he has no escape mechanism, but of course his range is just out of this world. Here to even he puts out a sentry. Great awareness from Puppy. This can prevent a kill overall. Of course, the Malefice dealing quite a bit of damage. If only Dendi had his ult, that would be a kill in the reverse. So
yeah,
very nicely done from Puppy coming back there. Perfect timing.
Yeah, Dendi seems a little phased in this game. The first kill, Venge actually ran through a ward, and then you just didn't see it coming in and got killed in a very obvious gank. And that one, I think they saw Venge picking up the Invis as well, and that kind of turned into a bait. But that was so close. S4 was going to get level 6 from the next creep, and then Dendi would have died regardless of Puppy being there. So, needs to be a little bit careful here on his Sniper. And I want to add as well, this is not really a Dendi here. Oh, he's going to get ganked again. He wants to assassinate and not get it off, and another kill on this mid Sniper. This is not a Dendi hero. Right? I mean,
Snowball. For sure it's not a ganker. It's just a right clicker, really.
Dendi excels at playing mobile, gank-oriented heroes that can, like you say, really snowball in the game. And now he's playing one of the most static, least mobile, and least big play material kind of heroes. I mean, don't get me wrong, snipers can make big plays, but it's generally not a hero you see doing a hell of a lot on its own. It's because it does something great together with the team. And I feel like putting Dendi on this hero is a little bit questionable, but at the same time, what other heroes were available to Navi in the pool? I don't remember now, but I feel like Sniper in the draft makes a lot of sense. The question is if it plays to their players' strengths.
Sure, I actually would like to go back and look at the hero list again, because personally can't remember any hero that Dendi is known for. Perhaps they were banned. But I mean, that's the risk you run from playing a captain's draft. I mean, that's the beauty of it. You play heroes that you're not accustomed to playing, at least on a consistent basis. Of course, if you're Alliance, you love Sniper and you play him all the time, regardless of lane. But
surprising they didn't pick it, right?
Exactly. I'm sure it was in their thought process, but of course, I think a lot of their picks for Alliance came down to denial of Navi because they were looking for. I mean, it was obvious Navi was looking to push it. We're gonna have a smoke gank. Both gonna get open wounds. Of course, the Abaddon shield coming out, but it's not gonna be enough. Or is it? Soul Assumption. It is gonna be enough to save him. Holy jeez, he actually waited a very long time for that. Perfect timing overall.
That was perfect. Exactly, that was perfect timing, because what Kuro needs to do in this game, he needs to keep his cool. He needs to break the open wounds with a Photic Shield. That is why this hero is insane against Lifestealer. It's the best slow in the game, kind of. Single target slow. Open wounds is the best slow, I guess you could just say, hands down, on a single target. And Abaddon just removes it. So if he waits, as long as he holds on to the Photic Shield until the right time, it's the open wounds they want to break, because Hvost can probably survive through the rest. He has 2 points in Corrosive Skin. There is the Mist Coil, and he had a 1.
Under attack.
And Alliance are not successful, and that was actually a smoke gank from them as well, so...
Lane, putting up the Nether Ward. Funnick's gonna try to kill it. Gonna get decrepified. He's gonna get decrepified, and here comes S4 with the sheep. And the... Did he block him? He did. Beautifully done. Beautiful. Funnick goes down. S4 getting credit for the kill. As we have a Malefice, actually, but there's the old crumble. Oh! Ultimate from Puppy's gonna get 1 kill out of this. Is he able to get away from S4? The sheep? Nope. The shock. Too much damage.
That was so close from Kuro with that TP.
He used a bottle charge. I believe he used a bottle charge to get enough mana to use that. And it ends up being a kill for S4. Double kill overall. And this huge. I mean, this is just domination in mid lane overall. Skrull's gonna steal the invis, but I'm looking forward to seeing S4 pick up a Blink Dagger ASAP. That will be awesome.
Gonna TP out bottom. Of course, he knows he can get away from Bristleback since Bristle doesn't have a single stun.
Not yet,
easy escape here. Yeah, not yet. He's gonna get a basher.
No.
The device. Yeah, well, it's Abyssal isn't
Rookie
that bad.
level 5. He can dive this if he needs to. Just won't, maybe perhaps damage from the Aphotic Shield will be enough to take him out with the ultimate from. Oh, he does not get it off in time though. Kuroki doesn't have his ultimate. Just trying to right click. I believe if the Aphotic Shield was in range to actually damage, they might have been able to get that kill, but regardless, did not happen in their favor. Hvost using his ultimate to kite Ake a bit, but this tower is dead. In top lane, Dendi, or in the mid lane, I should say, Dendi. Almost a swap from EGM.
Assassinate now. Now it's EGM over, and he doesn't even need to use it. And now it's 4.
It was already used though, so no way to really stop him. S4 actually stopping a bit. Has some TP support. Dendi's ult is up. It's not going to be enough damage to finish him off though. And Puppy. Of course his ultimate was already used, so it's not going to be up. Sniper ult used on Ake.
Yeah, Ake needs to be careful because Visage has terrible magic resistance. It's the only hero in the game with less than 25%. It hits really hard on the Visage. So if Gravekeeper's Cloak isn't on a higher level, this Assassinate just destroys him. As Alliance are going to try to make the most of it now. Since they rotated so many heroes mid, they want to at least try to get the tower, which I think they will. S4 is going to hex off Ghost a little bit, securing the tower here.
Middle tower has fallen.
Going to Bulldog.
Lane. They're going to try to trade this. Of course, most of it's
Radiant's bottom tower is under
creep
attack.
pulling overall, but Alliance sees this coming. And we have Phase Boots and Orb of Venom on Loda. Question is, what is he going to be going for? So he's not going to be going for Midas, at least, unless it's a really late
Funny
Midas.
has Phase Boots on Bristleback. I think I've never seen that before from him. He almost always gets treads, right? Because in theory, Phase Boots are terrible on this hero because whenever you cast a spell, you break them. And this hero wants to spam his Spell Spray and Nasal Goo, so you can't really keep the Phase Boots running. I'm really surprised that he chose to go for this build. I'm not sure what the logic is.
It's to go through Rasta wards.
Oh yes, of course. Yes, you're absolutely right. Good call.
Is crucial. I mean, anytime. I mean, in fact, that was his first death, was getting trapped. I don't believe he had Phase Boots at that point. Nether Ward's gonna be popped out. Puppy needs to get rid of that if he wants to have any part in this fight. This tower's getting pretty low though. I believe the Decrepify was used on the ward. Yes, indeed. So down for another 6 seconds. Open wounds on Funnick. It's a stalemate, old-fashioned stalemate, but of course, the tower's gonna go down
Radiant's
regardless.
bottom tower has
Thanks
fallen.
to Sniper's Shrapnel. Here comes Puppy, getting him Malphus up. The Shadow Shaman, they better be careful. He uses the sheep. They're kind of inclined to go in here because S4 is getting extremely low. He does pop thanks to the Funnick. Actually, that was a Funnick Crystal. I believe. I thought that was a Miscoil, but of course it's only level 2, so not a whole lot of damage coming out for him at this point.
Radiant's middle tower is under
So
attack.
beautifully played by Navi. This the positioning, the way they went in, the way they prepared the fight, and finally the aggression from Puppey. Their perfect timing on absolutely everything. And even though Alliance were in a good position and could have perhaps taken that fight, Navi just denied it from them. They didn't let them fight. That was the whole problem. It's really excellent zone control by the Navi heroes. Now they need to get the hell out of there because they're really low, but they got what they came for. One, they got his
mech. Is it going to be Funny picking up the mech? It looks like he's going Vanguard for now. Kuroki, I believe, is playing the 5 right now, so yeah, probably Puppey.
Who has the buckler? Oh, Viper. Viper's getting the mech. They have a lot of mech carriers. Okay. I think in this game, maybe Puppey wants to try to get a Blink Dagger. Because it's going to be really hard for him to land the Black Hole no matter what. And he can't really item build against the Radiant lineup unless he gets a Linken's first, so he doesn't get swapped anymore. Even then, it's kind of hard to not get the Linken's pop and etc. As this Roshan is going very, very quickly. Alliance know it's happening, and they're actually going to try to contest this. They're going to be too late.
Roshan has fallen to the down.
Gonna get the last hit. Here comes Loda, though. Pops his rage. He's going to go inside an Eidolon. Bristle is still dead, using the Aegis. Of course, the Aegis is absolutely used right off the bat. Loda's getting swapped to save him. At least for now, he's going to live. So there's the Black Hole on 2, along with the burst damage coming from Flowers and Dendi. That's 1 dead, 2 dead for Alliance. And Alliance needs to back the horse up out of here as Aki is getting caught thanks to the Malefice. 1 left, EGM. TP's out just in time. Of course, Loda is resigned to run away through River.
You're just really stepping up their game. This is... I think we've seen some really good play in this series, but I think this last 2 minutes from Navi for me have been the most well executed plays we've seen so far in this series. Just really amazing positioning, decision making, initiation, and everything. And they're just playing exactly to their line of strength. They know that this is their timing window, and they're not waiting. They're not letting Alliance get to the point when they start to really come online on the Lifestealer. Loda is kind of a non-factor. He really can't do anything against this lineup at this point. There's a Viper Strike, there's the Aphotic Shield to remove his slow, and there's so much physical damage that even when he's inside the rage, he needs to be careful. And that's the one thing you don't want to happen to you as Lifestealer. And this game, he needs farm. They need time. I'm not sure if Navi's going to give it to them.
I'm not sure if you noticed that, but in that fight, Puppey was able to get off his ultimate because the swap was used to save Loda, and it ended up killing entire team as a result. Does that mean that who's playing Venge? EGM? Does EGM need to just save this 100% for that Black Hole? Because I think that they're at the point where they pretty much have to do that. It's obviously gonna put him in a weird position because he has to stay back in the entire fight, so he's useless other than to stop the Black Hole.
I still think the cast range on the stun is still way longer than that of the Black Hole, so he can definitely get his stun and his howl off, but I think you're right, he might not be able to go in and simply just attack, because it might be too risky for him. He needs to stop the Black Hole, because who else is going to do it? Familiar drops are finally available for Aki. This is a very late level 6 for him at 14 minutes, so now they have that at their disposal. And they're going to need either the Familiars on Puppey all the time to stop the Black Hole with those, or they're going to need the swap, or they're going to need the Hex from Shadow Shaman, but they're kind of using that to initiate anyway.
It's a good trade for Alliance. I mean, when you're behind and you're trading tier 2s, that's perfect. I mean, not even that, they've got the tier 1 as well, so pretty much can't ask for a whole lot more. They're actually going to continue this. They're just going to try to force some TPs back from Navi.
Alliance are faster, so this is a really good call from them. Even if they have to back out now, they forced all Navi's heroes to port back, use their gold on that.
Oh, EGM getting gooed. Of course, the Nether Ward being very annoying to Funnick. Every time he goos, he gets zapped. But he doesn't care because he's bristled back. And then he's just going to kill it from afar, which is another great benefit, by the way, we didn't really mention, of killing the Nether Ward, is that having a sniper with a ridiculous range. We have 2 TPs in mid. Is he going to be able to get swap off? It's not quite in range.
He's going to reach because he's faster than Hvozd. He has such a low movement speed on that Viper. There we go.
Oh, beautiful. Viper Strike's going to be used on EGM, but the right click from Loda. You're seeing how little he does, and of course they Aphotic Shield, picking it off completely. Ultimate on the EGM. He's almost dead to save the fact that Hvozd getting mech'd thanks to himself, along with the Aphotic Shield. I mean, so much sustainability from Navi is absolutely insane. Aki's getting caught out. Completely dead. There's the S4 initiation. Pick up the Blink Dagger. You're seeing the initiation possibilities with him. Kuroki doesn't have his ultimate. He will fall as a result. Dendi, almost dead, is going to attempt to run away, getting decrepified in the meantime. Life drained. It's not enough, but the negative earn charge is going to be at, nope, barely enough to stay alive. Holy jeez. EGM picks up. He has a bottle. I didn't even realize that. He picks up the illusion room. Funnick, though, getting sheeped thanks to Rasta. This fight is over. You saw,
an intense fight.
Yeah. Alright, it was in Navi's favor, but then, or not Kavod, but then S4 came in with the surprise Blink Dagger, and you're seeing the effect of that right there.
That was really sick, and it's also scary for Alliance at the same time, because they did win that fight, but the amount of effort they needed to kill a level 9 Viper, because Kvost has 13 armor, 4 points in corrosive skin, a mech, and an Abaddon backing him up. And the worst thing when you're playing against a Viper is that you feel like you have to kill him, but that you can't. As where the hell did that courier die?
Familiar killed the courier. That was freaking hilarious.
Unfamiliar.
Yes,
Killed the courier. Oh, okay. Sneaky.
I didn't mention. I'm sorry. This is gonna be off track here. I didn't realize that Dendi had this set. This was made by. Oh, hold on here. It was made by Pure. It's the best sniper set in my opinion. It's freaking awesome. I never see anybody use it though. I don't understand. So shout out to Pure.
One with the wolf hat?
Yes. And it has 2 styles. You can make it a black wolf or a white wolf. So good.
The only item he has from that set though.
That's true.
One needs to sponsor this kit.
The best item of that set though. So.
Maybe he just wants the hat.
Maybe. He loves those TF2 hats, so wolf hat for the win.
This
Anyway.
is classic for snipers, right? Because the way, with the insane amount of range you have right now, and the fact that he just has a wall in front of him. Imagine the fights in the future where both Bristleback as well as the Viper will just create a line for Dendi to stand behind, and the enemy team can't commit in behind that because the amount of damage they'll take going for Dendi. So he's going super greedy on his item build. He's getting a Yasha and a Mask of Madness. Perfect item choice in this game, hands down, because he needs to deal the damage, and at the same time, if he gets caught out, it's a misplay from the front line. He needs to be able to stay safe if he makes the right decisions here.
Damage!
And then he can just kill these heroes really quickly. Okay, speaking of aggression here, Dendi's Free for blood, going bottom.
That is such a good
Is he
point,
gonna try this?
I don't know. I mean, Rage is up. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, that damage.
If only you could deny
Yeah,
full
he
HP
forces out the
creep.
infest.
That's a good
Gonna
ultimate.
wait here. There's no support coming in. Top lane, S4 will blink away from the Bristleback. That's fine though, he infested the perfect creep. This one hasn't even taken damage yet. What do you think about this from S4 though? He gets a Force Staff.
Force Staff.
I guess
More
the main
mobility?
point is to try, yeah, they need to try to reinitiate when they get caught out by the Viper, I guess. And perhaps it's another way of trying to deal with the Enigma, that they can force someone in range of him to stop the black hole, instead of having to run if you're kind of out of position.
Also a great way to, if you put it on the, I'll talk about that in a minute, we might have an engagement here. It's a great, if you put it on, if you initiate with Force Staff onto Enigma while he's black holing, you automatically make the black hole very long range, so benefits Navi if using that here, which I would love to see.
They have their
Always
couriers,
hilarious.
I mean, why not
Yeah,
give
that's
it to their, take it to the next level. Navi, we support you, not only with your courier, but also with our item choices. We're ready to help you out.
The cooler courier too, though. Look at that effect.
Yeah, they actually did. Maybe they're just trying, you know, maybe it's just Alliance trying to outclass Navi. Yeah, it's cool, you've got your courier. We've got an unusual version of your courier. What are you gonna do about it?
Ooh, pipe. Pipe on Funnick now. So tanky.
Oh, it's a big pickup.
S4 probably
Although-
places worse for this tier
Dire's
2
middle
mid.
tower is
They
under
still have
attack.
good physical damage, so I don't think this pipe is
Radiant's
extremely
bottom tower
alarming,
is
but it's
under
still gonna
attack.
negate a lot of the damage that in
Dire's
particular
structures
Bulldog
are
and S4 will be
fortified.
doing. But they still have the
Dire's
physical
middle
damage from the
tower
wards,
is
the
under
familiars
attack.
from Loda, and the Vengeful Spirit has
Dire's
both a
middle
medallion
tower
and
has
an urn,
fallen.
so he's also getting pretty tanky and
Radiant
might be able,
structures are fortified.
but like we said, he may have to be a little bit cautious
Radiant's
with his
bottom
movements in
tower
these
is
fights.
under attack.
And you know what? I think you're right. I think Puppy will actually get the Lincolns first.
I was just looking at that. So S4 has the blink tower. I was going to talk about this Nake spawn possibilities, and of course Lifestealer himself, I believe, is going for S and Y instead of well, he could go Halberd, I guess, but I think S and Y is a great choice. I mean, we see it quite often on him to begin with, but in this game in particular, you're talking about how he can't get to Dendi a lot of this time, and it's probably a misplay even to try to do that. Either way, and of course open wounds being negated like every single time. It's really mobility is the name of the game for Lifestealer at this point, so I think that's going to be a good choice overall. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, but S4 trying to catch somebody out with this smoke.
So aggressive. Oh,
Oh my god. If only they had EGM, that would have been a kill, I think. But it might have cost them their lives.
they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Navi's on the hunt, but yeah, it's an Abaddon, so he's gonna force stuff up the Venge and blink out himself, and Loda jumps out. So a nice attempt from Alliance, but Loda with the range just has the advantage. And again, Navi's decision making. The moment that they realize it's an open Roshan, Alliance must give
Sheepstick,
up
by the way.
on
Puppy got
that
a sheepstick.
attempt. Have the vision superiority. Alliance are gonna spot them out now. It's gonna be too late. Hiroki's gonna get caught out
Getting
though.
sheeped. This might be the sacrifice that Navi's willing to take here. Although he has his ultimate, of course, open wounds.
Roshan has fallen to the
Keep him
dire.
alive. A lot of
Dying.
Yeah, a lot was used on Kuroki for essentially no reason because the Aegis is now picked up, and the ultimate's going to use to almost finish up EGS, but he gets mech'd. Eventually go down thanks to Kubot's right click. Seeing the open wounds on Funnick, but
Puppy?
back up here.
Puppy got a Hex.
I said this 3 times, Cinderin. God.
Got a Hex.
I hate you. Well, I think it's because, well, actually, no, it's, never mind. I don't know.
You know, I
Yeah,
thought
it's
you
a Hex.
thought he was going for Lincoln's, but he got the Scythe.
Well, you were talking, and I was saying
You
got
didn't
a
literally
Hex.
say it 3 times, then I would have noticed. You might have said it once and I didn't
No.
hear it.
I literally said it 3 times.
Times in a row?
Yes, in a row. You just don't listen, okay, Cinderin? I'm really hurt. I'm really hurt that this tier 2's gonna
It
take
does
some
happen
pressure off
sometimes.
Kubot.
There's so much to keep track of, for
Initiating.
example, Host.
Track being used, and wow, Pugna Drain actually do a decent job. Kubot doesn't have phase boost, so he can't get out of the roster wards.
Ward trap.
The right clicks, though, from Funnick are enough to get him out. There's just, I mean, even if they get ward trapped, they're not in that much trouble with all the sustainability. You have Mech, you have Abaddon, you have Enigma with the black hole possibilities if people group up to try to kill you in those wards, so this is really going to be really rough. I mean, Alliance, it's not like they're completely out of this. They have good decent counter with Mental Spirit Swap, which we haven't seen once yet. Of course, we've only seen 1 black hole, so that's
Radiant's
probably why.
middle tower
Actually,
has
2.
fallen.
We saw a single black hole, singular target, and then the black hole that really turned this game around for Navi in their favor.
They're just controlling the map so well at this point, and it's hard to imagine how Alliance are gonna get these initiates. Because like you said, the vessel that they have for Lifestealer is a Shadow Shaman who really can't commit on going in like that. If he gets caught out by anything when he blinks in, he's basically one shot by the heroes of Navi. So they need to be really careful, and I feel like the Ghost Scepter pickup from S4 right now is really intelligent, because when you look at Navi's lineup, it's almost strictly physical damage that's going to be causing the trouble for them. I'm looking at how are Alliance going to get the initiation that they need, because if you're Alliance right now, how do you want to open the fight? Who do you go on? I can't find a good target, to be honest. They can't go on the Abaddon, he'll survive. If they go on anyone else, he'll just get a Photic
See,
Shield.
even though their lineup is built kind of around this in Navi, if you can get away with it, Sniper's still the best target. Because look at his, like, don't try this at home, kids. This is Glass Cannon at its best. He is so he doesn't have 1,000 health yet. It's 24 minutes in the game, and he has this much farm. Doesn't have 1,000 health yet. He will die with any. Of course, they have a lot of burst heal and a lymphatic shield and all that good stuff. But if you can kill him before that, this is when. And this is not a joke. I don't know who would pick it up, but perhaps a Dagon would be amazing. Like Pugna, a Dagon on Pugna would be pretty good. Decrepify plus Dagon with maybe a Lothar or something like that, or like a Blink Dagger.
He still needs to get in. That's if Dendi is wise enough on his positioning. I'm always really skeptical when people build Glass Cannon, and I generally think a lot of the time when people do it, it's a mistake. But in this lineup, it just makes so much sense to do it. I think this is the best item build, and I can't really. Even the Blink Dagger makes good sense, because we've also seen, I think mainly Eternal Envy has actually started this as a trend. He started with his Blink Dagger Clinks and MLG earlier this year. Carries, every hero in the game is really dependent on positioning, but with some carries you can just draw, you can get great benefits out of being able to reposition yourself, and Sniper is one of them, because since he has so long range, he has very much flexibility on where he can attack from. So he can blink onto weird ledges and stand and attack there, or to some extent behind the enemy lineup in a good angle. He just needs to stay safe, basically, and the Blink Dagger allows it.
Finished,
Dagger
so it's not
allows it.
SNY, and now that I look at it, probably Halberd is the better choice, because despite having move speed, Dendi's still going to right click away, and if they can get in range to use that on Dendi, that's obviously a great choice. Viper Strike in combination with the Sniper ult. Is that going to be enough? The Mech though, used, no, he's dead. He's eventually dead, and there we go. Alliance is going to counter push bottom. Rat Dota at its best.
Dota.
Rasta Wards come up.
Dire
TP
structures are
from Funnick. He's going to get
fortified.
sheeped immediately. Along with the stun, he doesn't have his back to them. Of course, he does have the Aegis. In the meantime, it doesn't look like anybody's pushing for Navi, so they're just going to attempt to defend this. the right choice. You don't want to go to. I mean, when you're up this much, as I looked at the graphs, and I don't want to look at them ever again. When you're up this much, you don't want to risk losing racks like this for sure. You don't want to go to a base race unless you're 100% guaranteed to win.
It's the best choice for Alliance to try to play this kind of game now. It's also something that they as a team are really experienced at. Split pushing effectively when you're this far behind is very hard, but Alliance are very good at finding the openings on the map where they get the opportunity to do that kind of almost. It wasn't exactly backdoor, but they seemingly come out of nowhere and suddenly start pushing your tier 3 tower. And you see Navi are already taking the first steps and trying to prevent it, with Puppey getting Boots of Travel as a second item on the Enigma. And I think the play from Funnick to TP in aggressively was really good there. He just couldn't have had much time left, and he just, I mean, rather use it than having it expire, right? He might have saved their tier 3 tower with that TP, even though it seemed crazy. So, really good play from him, and Navi are just churning the aggression on Alliance now. Since their split push failed, they can immediately rally down the bottom lane and start getting job done here.
For an EGM, having a death party of sorts, trying to catch somebody out. Of course, Admiral Bulldog is now there to help out. In the back, we're seeing it initiation from Puppey on the Bulldog, and this is going to completely isolate Vengeful Spirit. There's the ultimate going off. EGM's not able to get his ult off though to cancel. The Sheepstick will follow Pipe, and then he just, good lord. I mean, glass cannon, sure, but he still deals a ridiculous amount of damage. S4 is going to get gooed. Are they going to continue to this pressure? Puppey, of course, doesn't have blink dive, so can't really catch up. S4 just trying to get space to be able to use blink, but will not do so. I believe Dendi actually might have canceled that. His bottom lane, Abaddon getting his ultimate used immediately. Abaddon, oh my god, Abaddon! No, he won't go down. Unless this little guy does enough damage, but right now he's only doing 10 damage.
Playing Lifestealer in this game is a nightmare, I'm not gonna lie. This is such a hard lineup to play it into.
Viper Strike, I mean,
really
everything is, yeah.
And
they picked him to counter Navi. Like, they picked him to prevent Navi from picking him.
Radiant's
the Lifestealer was actually the first pick, but in this pool, I feel like
exactly.
Yeah, Navi just did a really good job at preventing him from coming online here. And Shadow Shaman there, the reason he actually ended up dying to Funnick was that he got out of trouble, and then he tried to TP bottom, but then it was a 6-second TP, because Alliance had already TP'd in 2 heroes. So S4 ended up canceling his TP because he thought he couldn't make it, and then he ended up getting cornered. So really, it's looking harsh if you're an Alliance fan right now, and Puppey's even going to go in EGM. He's done for. Just look at Dendi laying into him. He's actually going to get
top tower is under attack.
on him right now, but
Robotic shield, and he's just going to right-click from the back wing. Absolutely no problem. 1 dead for Alliance, and that's their initiator. And Dendi, he's an initiator as well. He's going to take out Loda. Absolutely no problem. Double kill for him. This should be a rack,
Radiant's middle
to say the
barracks
least.
are under attack. Dire's top tower is under
I really
attack.
thought we'd be seeing some sweet-ass swaps canceling those black holes. But the black holes haven't really been too prevalent overall. They haven't been too important as Navi's just rolling over.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So the cool thing about this game as well is that it showcases that Enigma can be an amazingly effective hero without using 2 big black holes. He got 1 good one-off at the Roche Pit, but hasn't really had to use them. Just the threat itself of the black hole is zoning Alliance out, and it's making it very hard for them to initiate in the fights. And on top of that, he's just using the Hex like now on Ake, and he's even going to Malefice onto Bulldog. And Alliance, they're being contaminated inside. They can't do anything.
Contaminated? That is awesome. That is an awesome saying. I need to use that now as EGM. This is going to be the last stand for Alliance as we have initiation from S4. Nake's bomb, dealing a decent amount of burst damage here. We have Funnick getting shackled, but there's the Malefice, followed by the Ghost Scepter, keeping alive at least for now. Phobos getting Abaddon shielded. I'm just going to call that for now. Loda blows up thanks to that exact shield that I was referencing. EGM TP's out, but this is a GG well played. Navi goes on to win this series 2-1 as Funnick will finally fall in the fountain. Yes!
Victory.
Yeah, that's. I said before this game that I was hoping this was going to be a close one, and that it was not necessarily needed to go long, but needed to be a close game and be really exciting. But I'm really happy with what we got, to be honest, because I feel like just on a strategic level, this was such a well-planned